Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. So this video is just going to be a little chit chat about how you can actually invest your pain into a better future. So I know that we all go through like tough periods in our lives where we're just like, oh my goodness, like what is going on, how am I going to get out of this? And the other day I was just thinking about like pain that I have kind of endured in my life and realized that sometimes in the moment where I was in so much pain, I used that situation to kind of figure out what I didn't want in my life and how I wanted my life to change. And I used that to actually pray about the things that I did want. And funny enough, in the next season, those things actually came to pass. So now the way I see pain or seasons of pain is that those are the seasons of sowing. And funny enough, you know how like in the Bible says, wherever you reap you will sow. I personally believe that if in those seasons all your sowing is negativity, complaining about the situation, I mean sometimes it's good to figure out what it is that is bad about this situation, but you're not supposed to dwell on it. After you complaining, you've identified, not even complaining, but you've identified what the issue is here. You need to come up with a plan on how you want things to change or what you want to change. Because at the end of the day, if you just keep complaining and not thinking, okay, I clearly don't like the situation, what do I want my future to look like? Sometimes also reevaluate yourself. If you're in relationships and it's not working, or you've been in plenty of relationships and it's always the same result, the common denominator in those relationships is you. So instead of just complaining about all the people that you've been in a relationship with and how they're this, how they're that, sometimes also evaluate yourself, because at the end of the day, you attract what you are. So sometimes I feel like we run from it by running to the next best thing, but sometimes no, you have to actually face it and be like, okay, what is it? If it's insecurity, like mine, for example, this year, one of the things was like I was really insecure in plenty of areas, and I used to beat myself up a lot. And I remember when I literally was so determined to face that, and I would just cry to God and literally go to him in tears, and I literally faced that. And every time I felt those insecurities, I would actually recognize what I was feeling inside and address it, you know. And I would just pray like, why do I, and I would like even write it down, why do I feel like this? Why do I not like how I look, or why do I not like how I act, or just whatever it is. I would actually write it down and acknowledge it. And I also believe in the thing that the Bible says, you overcome bad by good. So if you are struggling with pain in certain areas, acknowledge it, and then to overcome the pain you need to do something good. So if, for example, you're insecure about your looks, one of the things, or about your weight, for example, one of the things you can do is maybe change your eating habits and start going to the gym, so you overcome the bad by good. And the more you do that, that insecurity will be gone. If you're insecure about, I don't know, whatever it is, either like you have to do something about it. And also another thing is like what I would do when I would feel insecure or discouraged, I would listen to things that will encourage me. So from motivational videos to sermons to just calling to friends and opening up to them and having them speak into my life, all those things help me. So what I mean by that is that when I look back now, all those painful experiences made me into who I am today. It sounds so cliche, I know, but I just want you to understand that do not waste your pain. Pain is a force or some kind of energy that you need to invest in the right thing. And I feel like if you don't, it can actually destroy you. So for example, there's so many success stories of people who were homeless, or you know, who grew up in a very poor house, and they were upset about that, but that kind of motivated them to do better for them and their children. Do you get what I mean? And I remember I heard this story where this woman, I think she used to have this hobby, but when she had her daughter, she stopped kind of going after that hobby, and then one day the daughter died, and she decided to pick it back up, kind of just to honor her daughter, kind of thing. And now it's turned into a career. And what I'm trying to say by that is that even though the daughter died, she was probably in pain, because of that, she decided to use that pain and invest it to something that has now become a blessing into her life. And that's what I mean, and I feel like that's what the Bible means, that God turns everything into our own good. And I feel like sometimes you have to let him. He won't be able to do it if you're not cooperating, if you're not thinking optimistic about it. So that's why I just decided to make this video of literally how and why you shouldn't waste your pain. So no matter what it is, if it's a loved one that died, do something to even like honor them. Invest that pain in a different area in your life. If it's a failed relationship, sit down and realize, okay, what did I not like about that relationship? What can I do better? Or what will I not accept or tolerate in my next relationship? And before you know it, your next relationship will be better because you've raised your standards. So even though it was painful, it taught you something, and it can actually improve your future. So that's just what and like for example, last year I kept getting like customer service jobs, which I really didn't like. And I remember the last one I had, I was so depressed going to it. And after that, I was like, you know what, I quit it on the first day. And I was like, you know what, I sat down, I wrote down the exact job I wanted, the salary, prayed to God, and literally, I kid you not, that is exactly what came to pass. And I know last year was a painful situation for me, but if I didn't go through what I went through last year, I wouldn't be here right now. So what I'm trying to say is that invest your pain into your future, into a better future, and just make use of your pain. Don't just waste it, because life is too short, and I feel like we go through things for a reason and for a season. So nothing lasts forever. So don't be so stuck in the situation that you're in, thinking that, oh my goodness, this is like, you're never gonna be able to escape it. That's a lie. Everything is for a season. So just prepare for another season to come, and prepare for that season to be better, and do all the steps that you're required to do in order to ensure that the next season will be better. Don't just sit on this season and just dwell on the negativity. No, be optimistic, have faith, and look towards the future. Also, I feel like sometimes God allows us to get uncomfortable in the situations that we are, because He wants us, because He's ready to do something bigger in our lives, and sometimes He needs our cooperation. So therefore He lets us get uncomfortable and starts putting desires for something greater or something better in us. And sometimes just listen to those desires. Just be like, you know what, yeah, it's true, I do want to have a better house, I do want to have a better car, I do want to have a better career, I do want to help more people, you know, or I do want to have more confidence, I do want to better myself. So all these things that you feel like, no, I don't want this anymore, I do want to have this. Speak it into existence, have faith in what you said, and believe in what you're saying you want to see in the future. So yeah, I hope this video was helpful to you guys. It was a bit, you know, I won't say all over the place, but it's very free-spirited. But that's just how I communicate, y'all. I hope you enjoyed this video. See you in my next video. Bye.